Hello?
Hello,
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh,
How are
okay.
you?
I'm great too. Thanks for asking.
I was listening to your talk with the other lady, but I think she got disconnected.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was very interesting. What's
Yeah,
your
it is.
idea? What do you think about it?
First of all, I'm a Muslim. I was listening to some of your discussion, and it was
Hmm.
interesting because I teach little kids, and these questions that you've been asking, the kids also been asking. So it's really
Yep.
interesting that one of them was the last question you asked. If God knows everything and he knows who's going to hell and who's going to heaven, why he conducted this experiment. So I thought a lot about this question when he's in sixth grade, so I think he's like what, 12 years old. A 12-year old was asking me the same question.
Okay.
So I didn't know the direct answer to this, but I thought about it. Like, if God knows, do we know? Like, do we know? Do we go to hell or heaven? I mean, what about angels? What about other creation of God? So basically, he knows what's going to happen. But what about us? What about other creatures? What about angels? Because in Quran, there's a verse where angels were asking God, why are you creating human beings and why are you putting them on earth? And you know um, that is gonna there's gonna be a lot of killing and a lot of s- blood this is how it's explained in Quran. Like, there is a lot of lives going to be lost, or a lot of blood spilling is going to happen on earth if you
Hmm.
put a human being over there with and give him his will.
Hmm.
But God say, I know more than you know. And then on the same page, he was explaining something else. He um he created the human being with a brain that have intelligent, that means he can be taught. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's how we say God in Arabic, or in
Hmm.
Islamic way.
Okay.
He taught Adam all the names of all the creatures that is there on earth. And he came and asked the angels, do you know the names of these creatures? They said no. How we know if he didn't even let us know?
Hmm.
So Adam, he asked Adam, go ahead and tell them their names. So he went and told them all the names of the creatures on earth because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him that. So basically, the point I'm reaching is God has some wisdom behind this. He has some wisdom about this experiment that he conducted on earth. But we don't know this wisdom. But all I know now, like when I teach the kids that um, use your brain, go and be and go and be an expert about something, be a scientist, be something, and then come back and read all these verses in Quran. Maybe you understand more than all the people here. If you have questions, try to solve it yourself. Don't rely on other people um understanding of the holy book, or the Quran. You be a pioneer on this and just gain the knowledge and answer your own questions. So so that's basically what I got interested, because everybody have questions and everybody have the rights to find solution to them their own way.
Right. So it's interesting that you say that because if everybody has their own uh, free will to think, then if you use critical thinking skills, there's no reason to believe in a God.
Well, I agree to this. Everybody can have their own opinion, and but why are most of the people are actually concerned about the answer? Like, for example, you're an atheist, but you still have questions. Otherwise, you're not going to be on this talk.
Sure, I'm
I mean,
concerned.
all of us
It's
have
a,
this
it's,
inner question that was born with that is there's God or no, and we want to know and like definite answer to this. But
yeah.
I'm saying this because I have a brother that always asking me these same questions. He's not an atheist, but he still have doubts. But if we as human beings are content with our belief, that's okay. But most of us are not content. Like if you don't have a definite answer to your question, you'll be still wondering, and you'll be stay like you'll be asking people, and you'll be conducting these conversations and these debates because you still have something in your heart that you want an answer for.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think like I do believe in God, and I'm content. I'm really content with this belief. And
How can you be?
because this belief I have since I was a child.
Yeah,
Like
you were
I
indoctrinated into it.
can't hear for some reason. Yes.
So that's how is that a fair way of believing something when someone puts this thing into your mind as a child, and
No.
were you threatened with
No.
hell?
No. No. Nobody put this in my mind. Really. Um.
Well, where'd you learn it from?
Mm, there is some.
Your
This is
parents.
this. My parents. Maybe when. Of
They
course, you
put it in
learn
your
about
mind.
God in so many ways, but there's no one on this earth didn't hear or learn or this knowledge will come to you. The knowledge that there is God will come to you anyway, through your parents, through school, everywhere, anywhere. I
Well,
mean, somehow somebody on this earth will let you know, tell you that there is God, and then you will start to wondering, there is God on this earth? And when I had doubt before, or not doubt but questions, I was thinking really like, if God does not exist, who is answering my prayers? Like when
nobody.
I pray for something and it happens. This is this. What do you call this? Like magic? I don't know what you call it. Who is answering my prayers? I do pray
Does
for
it work
things,
every
and
time?
it happened. It happened most of the time.
Oh, most of
When
the
I was
time.
a child, it
Just
happened to me.
it's
Like
like
I pray
tossing
for
a coin,
something and it happened. It happens. It
It's
happens the
like
way I
tossing a coin.
answer. I actually ask for it in detail sometimes.
Do, do you want world peace?
Of course, but I don't pray day and night for this. So
Why
I'm not
not?
gonna go. I
Why
don't
not?
pray like this is. I don't know. I think this is something over like so big,
So what? It's
so
God. He
big.
can
Like, I
do
mean,
anything.
God can do
If you
everything.
want,
Yes, God can
so
do
if you want
anything.
world peace, why not just pray for it and make it happen?
Yeah, I'll stop praying. I will
Okay.
stop praying.
How about getting rid of world hunger? How about
Sure.
that one?
Yeah, we'll pray for this
I'm
too.
surprised I'm surprised that I actually tell you this
Mm-hmm.
because it's common knowledge that those things are bad,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have the power to ask God for something and it happens, then I don't
Yes,
see why you would
I didn't
never
say
do
I
that.
have. That's true. I didn't say. That's what you said. That there is a power of prayer. That's true. But I'm talking about something that really personal, real personal to me. Like when I pray for something or ask God for something, He answered my prayer. You saying about all these big issues on earth. Yes, we can pray. All of us are praying for this. Some at some point in our life we prayed for this. It didn't happen. That does not mean God did not don't exist, because maybe He has a wisdom. This is His way of conducting His experiment. We can tell God what to do. I'm not gonna. We can hope for anything for everything.
I'm
I'm
glad you
hoping for
said that.
my
I'm
stimulus
glad you
check
said
to
that.
come. It's not coming. It's not coming anytime
What
soon until they
why do
sign
you
it.
pray? Why do you pray if you can't tell God what to do?
No, I cannot. We what part of you believing in God? Part of you believing in God
I'm
is
asking
believing that
questions.
He is powerful, and you cannot tell God what to do. You can ask Him and pray strong, like
Why
you pray
bother?
and ask Him. Why bother of what?
Let me ask you questions really quick
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know
Yes.
God the way you do. All right.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
tell me, is God perfect?
Yes, God is perfect because He said
Okay.
I'm perfect. He said that in
All right.
Quran. He is perfect. Yes.
Is God? Well, we already know He's all knowing, right?
Yes.
and he's good, right?
God is good. Yes.
Okay. So he would know exactly
Mm-hmm.
what good is all the time,
Yes.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
he would base his decisions on what he knows is good, and
Of
he's right all
course.
the time, right?
Yes.
So why would you actually bother praying to him
Mm-hmm.
when you know it doesn't matter? He's still going to do the right thing.
It doesn't matter. Okay. I kind of understand what you're saying. Like, why
Okay.
bother asking him if he knows my good?
Yeah, he's
Um.
going to do what he wants anyway, right? Doesn't matter what you
Yes.
pray to.
Yes.
If you ask
Um.
him for something, he's going to go, well, either he's going to do it because it's good, or
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to do it because he already had the plan, and what you were
Yes.
asking for is not good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
either
Some.
way, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter if you pray to him or not. He's going to do what he wants to do.
Yes, that is true.
So prayer is
In my
useless.
belief, yeah, no, it's not useless because, in my belief, okay, um, we we actually believe that the easiest way to explain this is the concept of karma. I think that's the closest thing to it. If you do bad things and you do sins, of course the result is gonna be bad. This is not even anybody can have this knowledge or this concept. When we sin, of course bad things gonna happen to us. We put ourselves in bad situations sometimes. I did a lot of time by doing things without being cautious, by doing things without like do my thorough research, a lot of things, following
Right.
my
I'm asking about prayer, though.
yes, yes, I'm coming to this point.
Okay.
So
All right.
when we do bad decisions, we put ourselves in bad situations. Okay, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe that sins make your life miserable. Sins makes your life miserable. Sometimes we cannot come out of these bad situations, really, but we will ask the person, the only one who can get us out of this situation, to relieve some of these bad situations that we put ourselves in. This is not God's fault that we went and sinned and did bad things and put ourselves in bad situation. So of course I'm going to ask somebody who is more powerful. I will ask somebody who is more powerful than me to relieve all these things, to help me to be beyond my sins, or for me to get some kind of a relief, because this is not under my sometimes not under my power. He can fix it. I cannot fix it. I'll ask him to fix this stuff that I ruined myself by doing bad things and by not following his directions. Like, for example, when I did bad on my test, I'll go to my teacher, tell her I want to do some extra work. So you give me some extra points, and so I'll pass my test. But who, like, I know that she have this power. She have this power that to give me like extra credit on something else, so I won't fail on my test. Same thing. I go to the supreme power and ask him to relieve some of my stress, or relieve some of my, because I know the problem that I created myself. He's the only one can fix. So this is my concept. Like, I
Yeah,
understand
but
that
it's
he
flawed.
knows the good
Your
and he
logic
knows.
is flawed. Your
Well,
logic is flawed. You
sometimes
know that. No, it's
it's working for me, and sometimes a lot of things in this
well,
world is not logical, but it's so far it's working.
yeah. You have
As
your
long
own
as I'm
logic, which
satisfied.
is ridiculous.
Yeah, it could be ridiculous, but it's working for me and I'm satisfied. But
Wow.
sometimes I don't have questions, because if when I have questions, I go back to my Quran and research it and use my brain and use my knowledge. And most of the time, I know my answers. So I'm
Does
satisfied.
anything happen that God doesn't want to happen?
No, no,
Well, then you don't
nothing,
have free
nothing.
will. Then
No,
He's
we
responsible
do,
for everything.
we do have, he gave us the free will. This
It's
is how he
impossible to have it
conducted.
both ways. It's
It
impossible.
is. It is with God, because it is possible that he have power over us, and we have our free will in the same time.
It's impossible. That's a logical impossibility. You can't have you can't flip a coin and get heads and tails at the same time. It doesn't work that way.
Well, Well, this is what's happening right now in the world. People have
No,
free
it's what
will,
happens in
but
your mind.
okay. So what do you think? Like, I'll give you an example. Like you said, is we either God has power or we have power, right? Maybe
Well,
sometimes
that
He gives us our power, and sometimes He overrules.
that's not how it
Does it have
works.
to be the same? Does it have to be the same thing all the time?
I asked you if anything happens without God's will,
No,
and
nothing
you
happens
said
without
no.
God's will. No.
Right. That's the ultimate. So that means no matter
Hmm.
what happens, God is responsible for it. It's His will.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
can
you have
I
no
can
free
answer yes
will.
to this.
So your will doesn't count. It's God's will.
Okay. What if is it that God's will is to give us free will?
That's circular logic. That's ridiculous.
Okay. So why
Then
is
he, then he
ridiculous?
because he's given up his free will to give it to you.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
then he's not
that's his
ultimately
decision.
responsible for what happens.
That's that's his decision.
Yeah, so he's
He
not
gave us.
ultimately
He gave
responsible
it.
for what
He gave
happens.
us. Yeah, he gave us free will on this earth,
So,
but does
but you
not
just
mean
got done
he
telling me
has.
that he's responsible for everything that happens. You can't have
Yes.
it both
But
ways.
why we can have it both will? If you have a child, and you're in a park or somewhere, and you give this child a free will to play anywhere in the park,
I'm
but
not
you know
God.
in your mind, yeah, that you're the dad of this child. You know in your
So
mind, if
what?
he put himself into danger, that you're gonna come step in and save him. Doesn't this have two wills? Your will and
God
your
doesn't do
child's will?
that.
Why?
God,
Why
okay.
you're like a? I mean, why you are answering? Putting words on in his will.
Because
Why you're like
all right,
saying?
let's say I walk into a room and
Mhm.
I see a child getting raped. I would
Okay.
do something about it. God would
Hmm.
not,
Why? Why you think? Why your
because
idea of
no
God
person
is
has ever been
so?
saved from being raped by a God.
Why you're saying that you have critical thinking or you have good judgment. I'm assuming that you're saying this. Do you know all the rape crimes all over the world? You have actually records.
There are
Do
records.
you
I
do you
could look
actually
them
do
up.
you actually have records?
Yeah, I
I
could look them
mean,
up.
do you actually have cameras in all closed rooms, behind the doors, in the schools, and everywhere that
I
there
don't
is
have the
or
burden.
whatever? Huh? Why?
If
Why
you
you
claim
assuming?
that a God saved someone from being raped, then you have the burden of proving it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can go and search and see what happened. Actually, let me see. I heard this story by the girl herself, and she was saying that for over 7 years, there was like like her one of her relatives, actually her dad, were trying to rape her. But she every time he tried to do this, I can actually give you the link to the interview, but it's in Arabic, but you can always translate it. That she over 7 years, she succeeded of escaping this raping trials by her dad, and finally she escaped from the house. But I was thinking, like, how strong is this girl? Like, she was actually fighting for her, for herself all these years, and she actually succeeded. Who gave her this? Like, I was just wondering, like, who gave her this power? So
It
people
wasn't God.
actually get. Why are you saying not? Because you can't prove. You can't prove it. You just said
You can't
you
prove it
can't say
was.
something without proof. You can't prove it
Well, prove it
because
was
no one,
God.
no one was there. No one was there. She was alone. Who was? Who helped her?
The moment you say who, you're already assuming there's a God. That's a loaded question.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
things like this. I mean, we can we can like it's the same. Goes both ways to me and you. When we say something and we cannot prove it, it's like automatically it's
it doesn't
invalid.
make it true.
It doesn't make it true. It's invalid because we can't prove it. But sometimes when you argue things about God, you make it sound like it's true. But how you gonna prove?
I'm not making claims about God. I'm telling you see, when I ask you, for example, is God responsible for everything that happens? And you say yes. Now we establish something about God, right? So I
Yes.
base it on that.
Hmm.
And then when I prove you wrong about something else based on what you said, then you want to have it both ways.
No, it's I don't think
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly what you're doing.
Like have it both ways. How? Like explain to me have it both ways.
Well, we just did that, but I'll do it again. You
Hmm.
said you said that God is responsible for everything that happens. Nothing happens without the will of God. You said
Yes.
that,
Hmm. Uh-huh.
and you still say it, right?
Yes, and I still say it. Yes, because this
Okay,
is part of
then
him
we
being
don't have
God.
free will. It's only God's will. If everything happens with God's will, then we don't have free will. And if you're trying to tell me that God gives us free will, then He is giving up His free will, which means He's not all powerful. Things don't happen with His will; it happens with our will, because He gave us free will.
When we said this, we assume that this will or this powerful is infinite, like is like it like for infinity, like it's not something that is governed with time.
That's irrelevant.
How?
It has nothing to do with
when you
whether
say
he
when
has
you
free
say
will or
will,
not.
like will can change. When you say will,
So He takes it back again.
it
Is
takes
that
it
what you're
back again.
saying?
Like for example, we have our own will until 70, 80. What if we got Alzheimer, we got Alzheimer's, and we don't have our free will? We got in an accident. We don't have our free will right now. So does will is like will is for infinity, forever?
It doesn't matter. The
Well,
moment He gives
there
up
is
His
two
free
types,
will,
but
it
our
doesn't
our
matter.
free will our free will is different than God's free will. God's free will
Oh
is for
wow!
infinity.
There's only one free will. Wow.
No, it's
Well,
not.
either you have the freedom to choose or you don't.
But sometimes
There's
the
no nothing in between.
freedom to choose
Yeah.
is that when you say freedom to choose,
Mm-hmm. That's free will. That's the definition of
this
free
is
will.
this
By
is this is
definition,
definition of free will, right? Can this free will change? Like today I have free will,
no,
tomorrow I don't have free will.
it doesn't matter. Once you have it, the moment you have it, God doesn't.
The moment we have it, God doesn't.
Right. So even if He gave it to you for 1 second, for
Uh-huh.
that 1 second, God is not responsible for anything. He,
Maybe you're right about this. He is giving us temporary free will.
okay, so He's not all powerful then. You just said everything that happens, everything
Mm-hmm.
is because of God's will. And now you're telling me,
Mm-hmm.
well, sometimes it's not like that.
Yeah.
That's
What?
crazy.
Why not? Today
Because
I'm
then He
free will.
just,
Like let's say today I'm free will. God is giving me a free will today to do whatever. Tomorrow I'm in jail. I'm not free.
wow, you really don't get it. That's
Maybe I don't get
amazing.
it. Yeah. Maybe I
Yeah,
don't get this
your
free
critical
will.
thinking skills are just been poisoned by this religion. You realize
No,
that?
it's not. No, no, it's not.
It has to. You can't think critically. You
No.
really you,
If
you you
you if
make a
you think
statement.
critically,
You
I'm
make a statement.
I'm thinking about the statement and thinking about all the possibilities and all the situations. And this is
Yeah, but
how our brain
every
works.
time you
You
no, because you're changing the goalpost. That's a logical fallacy. Because first you said everything is under God's free will, under God's will, right? Everything
yeah.
that happens is because of God's will. Nothing happens without God's will. That's what you said. That means everything, at all times, everything. And then
Hmm.
you turn around and say, well, no, sometimes it doesn't. So that's a contradiction of to what you just said. And then you
But
want to
you
have it
see
both
the
ways.
way, yeah, the way I'm thinking about it. It's not the way you're thinking about it. When you say a statement in my brain, I go back to Quran and I see which verse goes with this one. Is this right? Is this wrong? It's maybe this logic can
That's
work
how
with something. You
religion
understand?
poisons the mind. Yeah,
No,
that's
it's not. No,
exactly how
no.
religion poisons
If
the
you have
mind.
a, if you, I look at my religion as this. I look at Quran as my manual. Like
Yeah,
everything
and
comes
that's
with a
why it
manual.
poisons your mind because you can't think
Not really.
critically on your own. You have to keep looking at a book and trying to figure it out
Yes,
instead
I
of
will do this. But if you have the belief that the author of the book have all the power, he knows it all, then things
that.
works out.
That's how it
But
poisons
like,
your mind. Yeah,
but for example, don't you have a manual for your car?
that's not the same thing. That's not a worldview.
Okay, but that's only what we have. Like this is we live in this world. We have to
No, you
compare to
don't.
things
That's not only what
on
you have.
Earth.
You have
What
your
else we
own
have?
mind, and you can think for yourself without a book.
Yes, to some extent. But like for
No,
example,
to all
if I have
extent.
a if I no 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 no, I don't think that anything is here we can say to the fullest extent because
You
we're
can
not
throw the
perfect.
book out and never look at it again. That's the full
We,
extent.
mm, the thing is, I'm arguing with you, but you already have your mind set
No, no,
into
you have
something.
your mind set up. I'm trying to point out your flaws in your thinking.
Uh-huh. But I'm if you believe that the human brain can do anything and I don't need a book, then you have to have some faith in my brain as well. Like you have to
I
some
do.
respect to the way I'm thinking.
No, I have. I know. Well. I know your brain exists. First of all,
Uh-huh.
that can be proven. I can't prove your God exists.
Okay, if my brain led me to my God, so let it be my
No, it
brain
didn't.
because you
No, it
have the
didn't.
you said rely on your brain. So my brain led me to this decision that there is
No,
God,
it
God
didn't.
exists.
You just got done telling me you got led
You
to
are
it by your
doing the you
parents.
put yeah like you're doing decision in on my behalf now.
Well, I'm going by what you told me. You said your parents told you about religion.
My
You were led to it
really
that way. Yeah, your brain
my
didn't
brain
lead you
my
to it.
parents, not my parents. I think I learned more at school more than my parent taught me. I
Okay, so
think.
your school brainwashed you then. Okay,
So you're thinking that all the people that actually believe in God were brainwashed?
not all of them, but most of them. If you're
What?
brought up if you're
Hmm.
brought up as a child to believe this
Hmm.
stuff,
Yes.
and you're told if you don't believe you're going to go to hell, that's a
Hmm.
threat. That's not free will. That's like, well, I better do this or else there's consequences, and I don't want to go to hell. That's fear.
Hmm.
And I don't know
I
what country you live in, but there are Muslim countries where if you are an atheist, they kill you. That's the law.
um this is kind of obsolete now in Muslim countries. You go
No,
to
it
Muslim
happens every
countries.
day.
Yeah, you go to Muslim countries and you're gonna find another version of the U.S. I've been living here for the last 21 years, so I went to Sudan thinking that like I'm gonna go to a Muslim country and the world now is the same everywhere you go. The same thing. They wear the same clothes. They listen to the same music. They
That's
probably
not
eat the same
true.
food. They are basically you're gonna find everything there here. Sometimes worse. So mostly you think what the idea about people here and about the Muslim world is just just not right. It's not accurate. It's not accurate because
I'm glad
all this
you
social
admit
media
that.
and all these the media made everything available to everyone, and new generation. I'll say what you're saying is right. Like last maybe 20 years ago, 40 years ago, but not now. Not now.
But the
You
belief
know,
still exists. The fear
of course
still exists.
the fear is does exist. Sometimes the people they make mistakes in teaching religion. They do make like very like harmful mistake when they teach religion. And that thing is they think that when they put this fear in the heart of kids or like whoever they're teaching, this will make them do the right thing or stay away of bad things.
Yeah, that's
But
coercion.
this is not right and this is
They're
not
acting
the
like mob
way.
bosses.
This is why I go back and I read the manual that you said that you know
Why read it at all? You have your
because I
own.
want
You
to
have your
see
own free will.
Because why I read Quran? Because I want to see what God thinks about this, what God think about teaching, what God
And
thinks
if it
about
doesn't
that.
make sense, why believe it anyway?
No, I read it. You can read it by yourself and decide if it makes
Yeah,
sense or no.
I
But
I
you
didn't
cannot
read it
say
all, but
things without reading it.
the
So
the things I read did not make sense.
did you read the whole thing? The whole man.
No, but
Read the
that
whole
doesn't
thing.
matter.
Because
Well,
if you want to convince somebody else, or you want to actually not convince somebody else, you want to convince to yourself that you're right, you have to do it the right way. Read the whole thing from cover to cover, and then come and ask me, this is wrong and this is wrong. So I'm not claiming that I read my whole book and understand it the whole, but I'm
well,
studying.
then you're
I'm
being a
studying.
hypocrite.
No, I'm studying. No, I'm in the process. I'm in the process of
But
studying.
you
What I
believe
read
it
so
now
far.
before you believe it now before you read it.
But see, I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to give you this
Okay, I'm,
idea.
I'm I'm trying to understand what you're saying because it doesn't make any sense. If you're telling me
Yeah.
I need to read the whole book and you haven't read the whole book, then you're being a
I
hypocrite.
mean, no, I'm in the process. I'm in the process
Yeah,
of
but
reading it.
how
That
long have you
you,
been
when are you
in
gonna
the
start?
religion?
You can start like
How
me,
long
and
how
at
long
least
have you been in the religion? How long have you been a believer?
for the basically
Yeah,
for
so
my whole entire life. But
you had
I'm trying
plenty of
to.
time to read the book.
Are you arguing for the sake of argument, or are you
No,
arguing
I'm
for?
I'm trying to find out why it's taking you so long to read the book.
Because see, reading is something. Maybe I read it 1,000 times. Okay, reading is something. Studying is something else. Studying is something else. When you study, you do the thing that we're
Well,
doing now. You
well, you
go and you
said
talk to people, and you actually use your brain a little bit more, and you see how people looked at this from all direction, or and you read about other people from other religion, what they think about this ayah, or is something that is very complicated, and it's not something that is going to happen in 2 3 4 years even. So reading something, understanding something else, and applying is something very like different.
now you're
So I'm
moving the
trying to
goalposts
apply
again.
one ayah now. You're talking about, because you're talking, I'm trying to give you something of what I like found out so far. So one of the
Okay.
ayahs I was reading is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say la ikraha fi din. That means there is no forcing in religion. Do not force anybody into any religion. No, la, these three words. La ikraha fi din. There is no forcing in religion. So this is the way he wants us to teach religion. Oh, just give people the knowledge, just the knowledge. Don't force anyone. And this is what I
Okay.
do now. I do what I teach
Oh,
kids at
really?
school. I teach religion at school. I know I don't force anyone into anything, and even my
What would
kids,
happen?
even
Can I
my
ask you
even my
something?
girls, I
Can,
tell them
can
la
I ask you
ikraha
something?
fi din. Now my girls,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm practicing my religion, but I don't force the practicing of my religion onto my girls. Never,
What would
never, ever.
happen? What would happen if you became an atheist?
If I became an atheist, I don't
Yeah, what
think
would
I'm.
happen?
I don't think I'll become an atheist, because
That's not the
first of all,
question. What if you
I don't
did?
think I
What
can
would
live
happen?
without.
I know because
What
you're
would happen?
brainwashed. Yeah,
Like happen in the future or now?
no. Would there be punishment for that?
Punishment in the day after, of course. The people who do not
Then,
believe in God, they
then you're
don't
being
deserve to
forced
go to.
into it.
They don't deserve to go to. What if you like?
You just
How to
admitted.
explain this?
Now you said there's you don't get forced into a religion, and then you tell me you're being forced into it because there's punishment if you don't.
Um, you're basing what you're saying on the day of judgment, right? And I'm based on, or what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
so you're
on
being forced into
there's two different dimensions here, and
it.
the rules does not work on both. The rules does not work on both. On dunya means the hereafter. I mean this world, and
Wow,
then there is the afterward.
your
The
mind is
rules
so
here is
poisoned.
different. It's different. I cannot say what's gonna happen, because after that I don't know. I know what I'm living right now. I know what's happening right now. But I can't
You
base
don't
my.
even know basic logic. You can't reason. You just can't reason. It's amazing. It's absolutely me. I point out contradiction after contradiction, and you just sit there and make excuses for it. You don't acknowledge
Maybe
that
it's
it's a
not excuse.
contradiction.
Maybe it's not excuses. Maybe it's just the way I
Yeah,
believe.
your mind has been poisoned. I'm giving you simple
Hmm.
logic and showing you real contradictions to your thoughts, and you're just saying no. You can have it both ways.
I didn't say both ways, but
Yeah, that's
I say
basically
I
it.
have I uh I have freedom on here, but after that, because the experiment ended.
You said that the Quran
Hmm.
does not force religion on anyone.
Yes.
Then you turned around and said, if you don't believe, you will be punished. That's being forced into it.
But it's
That's a
not
contradiction.
nobody's first forcing me right now.
That you are terrified of the punishment.
Oh, you're saying like in my brain because of
Yeah.
of going to hellfire. That's why
Well,
I'm
yeah. Do
choosing
you
my
want to go
religion.
to you want to go to hell?
Is that what he's saying? I mean, this is how
I'm
you
asking. Do you
force
want to go to
somebody.
hell?
I can't hear it for some reason.
Do you want to go to hell? I'm asking you.
Of course, no. But this is
Okay.
not the way. This is not why I believe in God.
No, it is exactly why.
No, you can't. You can't put this in my brain, or you can't.
You just
You
told
can't.
me.
This
You
is.
told
I'm
me
not.
you do
This
not
is
want to
not the
go to hell.
reason. I don't want to go
I'm
to
going
hell.
by what you're telling me. That's all. I'm not putting words in your mouth. You
You're
said
put. No, you are putting words on
no.
my. I said
No, I'm
I
not.
don't
You
want to go to hell. I did
right.
not say that's why I am a Muslim.
Well, what if you don't? If you're not a Muslim, you go to hell, right?
Yeah, not necessarily.
If you become an atheist, you go to hell.
If you become an atheist, because I don't know what exactly is an atheist.
An
I
atheist is
can't say.
someone who does not believe in God.
Does not believe in God.
Yes. So if you stop believing in God, you will go to hell.
This is not mentioned in Quran. So I can say yes or
Well,
no. It's not
what's the
mentioned in
reason?
Quran that
Okay,
atheists are
what's
going
the
to go
reason
to
you
hell.
go to hell? What is the reason why you end up in hell? What's the reason for
uh,
it?
the reason for not to tell you the truth.
Yeah, please tell me the truth. I don't
I
want you to
want to.
lie.
I don't what I believe that
Yeah.
nobody knows who's going to hell. No,
Okay.
only God knows.
But what causes it? There's got to be a reason.
Some of the reason mentioned that if you disobey God,
Right. And becoming an atheist is disobeying God, right?
maybe not. Maybe
Oh,
he didn't
really?
have the enough. Maybe he didn't have enough knowledge.
Okay. So why aren't you an atheist? You don't have enough knowledge.
I have no I have enough knowledge now
No, you don't.
to believe in
You didn't even
I
read
have
the
a
whole book. You don't understand it. You said you're still
the
studying it.
this is not like reading the book is by
No, you said
itself.
you're right.
A lot of people read the
I
book and they
understand that.
don't go by the book. But
Well,
sometimes
that's wow.
the belief comes from your heart, and my heart believe 100% there's a God.
Okay, so you don't need the book then.
Because when I pray to Him, I have this feeling that I am praying to my God.
So you just go by your feelings. You don't care about what the truth is. You don't use critical thinking or logic. You just go by your feelings.
Yes, I do
Yeah,
go by my feelings.
that's why you're wrong.
Like, why? Like, if I believe of your critical thinking, okay, and I respect what you just said, why you think that I'm wrong? Logical
What's the
thinking
best
thinks
way to
that there
get?
is.
Do you care about what the truth is? First of all, do you care about what the truth is?
I do care about the
Okay,
truth.
what's the best way to get to the truth? Feelings or critical thinking?
Both ways.
No, you're wrong.
Why?
Because I can believe anything with my feelings. Anything. It doesn't mean it's true.
But sometimes it's true.
Sometimes, yeah, and a broken clock is sometimes right twice a day. It doesn't
No,
make it
sometimes it's
a
true.
good way of
Sometimes
finding the truth. The best way to
feeling.
find the truth is with critical thinking, not with feelings.
Sometimes critical thinking fails,
How?
and feelings will win.
Give me an example of critical thinking failing. I'd like to hear
Yeah,
that one.
because feelings feelings
Give
are
me an
different.
example.
I'll give you an example. Like if let's say you like somebody, you like a lady or a girl, or if you fell in love,
That's
and
not critical thinking.
with your critical thinking, she must have loved me. I have all the things that she liked. She have this criteria. She likes like tall guys. She like whatever. She like this skin color. She likes this whatever smile and everything. But she doesn't like you because she doesn't have feeling to you.
That's an emotion. That's not critical thinking.
Okay, so sometimes your emotion does not go with your critical thinking.
Well, when you're talking about love, this critical thinking doesn't apply to that.
Why? Because
Why?
it's
Because
why
it's not something to critically think about. It's just an emotion. It's a
that's
feeling.
that's the same thing. Feeling and
No,
emotions, they are
right,
different than critical thinking.
right. And you base your worldview on your feelings, not
Why
critical
not?
thinking,
Why not?
because
I
it's
choose
not a
that.
good way of finding the truth. You just told
I
me
think it's
you
a.
care
I
about the
think.
truth.
Yeah, I think. Because critical thinking is number one to you. Feelings is number one to me. I'm a
Right.
different person. I have
Yeah,
like
you don't
I'm a
care
different
about what
person.
the
I'm not
truth
you.
is. You
I
you
care
just
about
you
the truth,
lied
but
to
this
me.
is the way I know the
You
truth. This is
lied
my
to
way.
me.
This is my skills. My
Yeah,
skill is my feeling. Your skill is your critical
you
thinking.
said you care about the truth. It's a lie. That's a total lie.
Well, this is your opinion,
No, you
and you
just
think I'm a
proved it.
liar, but I'm not a liar.
You just proved that you don't care about the
You
truth
used
because you
your
don't use
way.
critical thinking. You use feelings. And
Yes,
feelings is not
you
a way to
use
find the truth.
your way. I use my way. You use your way, which is critical thinking. I use my way,
That
which
is
is feeling.
not the that's not the question. That's not the point. You contradicted yourself once again and want it both ways. You
Mm.
said you want to believe the truth. You care about it. And then
Yes,
you
I do
turn
care
around
about
and
it.
tell me, well, the way you
I
find the
know.
truth is with
I
feelings.
actually, you want to know the truth. I want. I
I
know the
do.
truth.
Right. So you don't care about what the
I
truth
know the
is.
truth.
No,
I
you
know the
don't.
truth.
How do you know the truth?
I know the truth.
You that's a
like I said,
claim.
I have a feel. I have. This is my claim. My claim that I
You don't have
100%
evidence.
believe my evidence is my feeling. If you don't
Right.
believe in my evidence, that's your problem.
Okay,
It's
I
not
believe in
mine.
leprechauns, and that's my feeling. Does that make it true?
I don't know.
Right. You don't know if there's a God. Thank you. Very good.
What does God have to do with your leprechaun?
Because it's the same logic. If I believe
Yeah.
something on feelings and you do, it's the same logic.
No, but let's go back. I was
It's
just,
the same logic. You can't get out
I
of this.
was
Your brain is trying to squirm out of this logic, and you can't do it.
like, I'm sitting here in my backyard,
Yeah.
looking at the clouds, looking at these trees, and you're telling me these things grow by itself, and the sky
Yeah, they do.
it
They're
made itself.
naturally occurring. They occur naturally in nature.
Really?
Yeah, due
Well,
to the laws of
this
physics and chemistry and all the laws of nature.
and laws
Those
of nature,
things.
is this accurate?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Mm.
Take
So
a
if
science
you go
class,
to,
you'll learn.
I have I have a bachelor degree in medicine, in surgery and medicine. So I
Okay, so
learned
you know
a
bacteria
lot of
occurs.
science, a
A
lot of science.
bacteria evolves and it occurs naturally.
Yes, it does.
So there's
It
no
does.
God involved.
Okay. Did you ever heard about a creature in our planet occurred naturally? Like
Yeah,
in your backyard, like something a creature, like you find something that nobody's seen now,
yeah,
and you think that is occurred naturally,
yeah.
evolved.
It can be proven. You take the DNA from it and you examine it, and you can tell where it came from.
Yeah. Did they ever find something that is not actually a source of something that actually occurred already? Did anybody actually like created something that was not there before, other than God's creation? So far,
Yeah.
give me like an
Okay,
example of a creature that was created.
that's a loaded question once again because you're saying you're already making an assertion in the question that God created things, which He didn't.
Yeah, give me something. Yeah, God created all these things. Give me something that people created that actually have
A
life.
house.
A house has life. This is a creation. This is like
People don't
something that's
create life.
living.
People
that's
don't
living.
create life, but they can.
Okay, let's say a house. I'll go to the logic that I talked to like the 6 years old. Okay,
People
I'll go
create
there.
houses. God, that's
Okay,
not naturally
I
occurring.
agree. I agree. People created houses. Okay,
Hmm.
how did they create it? Did they create? They actually went to the lab and created the wood, or
Yeah,
they went to the
no,
lab and created the dirt? They went to the lab and they created some steel. There, it's already there. It's already
and
there.
I'm aware of that. So you're saying God created everything out of nothing?
Yes, out of nothing.
Really?
من العدم.
That sounds
Yes,
very magical to me.
yes, it is. God is magical.
Well,
The laws,
can
the
something
laws
come
on
from
earth
nothing?
does not apply to him.
Can something come from nothing?
Yes, only only in the hands of God. Only.
Well, first you have to prove there is a God before you can make that claim.
Well, you're telling me human being created the houses? They did not
Yeah,
created houses. They just assemble
that's
houses.
creation.
No, that's not creation.
Okay,
Creation is going to the lab and creating the material from nothing, like you said, from nothing.
you're a
So everything
scientist,
is
right?
there.
You know energy cannot be created or destroyed, right?
Yes, that is true.
Okay, so where did that come from? God?
What do you mean? What do you
You
mean
said
come from?
you said
The
God
energy?
created everything. So first you say God, energy cannot be created, and then you say God created energy.
Yes, but we are human beings. You're talking about God. God is not
Wow.
does not the logic that goes when you talk about God. This is the problem. We
Yeah,
cannot talk on the
you want
same
to throw
base.
logic out the window when it comes to
No.
God, and you can't prove
Yes,
there's a God.
when it comes to God, these laws does not apply to God.
Right. You're
But and
explaining that now
if you think
thank you.
and
Thank you.
if you think these laws apply to God, you don't know God.
Right. And thank you very much. Now you just explain exactly how you contradict yourself constantly because you have critical thinking skills and logic, but you throw them all away because you think it doesn't apply with God. And you
Yes,
can't
it
even
doesn't
prove there is
apply
a
with
God.
God. It doesn't apply.
Right.
It
So
doesn't
you
apply.
can say that, but that doesn't mean it's true. You can't even prove there is a God. So how could you base your worldview on it? That's just unbelievable.
It is actually.
Yeah, it's
It is
insane.
actually.
It's insane.
If why are you trying to prove there is no God? Why you
I'm
just
not. I'm trying to prove your
or are you
logic
trying
wrong
to argue that people who believe in God is not true?
because
Why?
it's dangerous to believe things that are false.
How dangerous is that? How dangerous
Okay,
is that? Well, like you
if
see
you
people, how what kind of
they're
dangers are you in,
constantly
and what kind of dangers I'm in right now?
well, I can give you 100 examples. I mean, people instead of going to doctors, they just pray, and then the children die
Yeah,
because they don't send their
no.
children to the hospital.
This is a prevalence now? They're
Yeah,
like
it
they
happens
have a
in
research. They
America.
have
800
numbers. People are dying. Like
Yeah,
100 people are dying.
800 children die every year in America because of that. I don't know about other countries; it's probably worse.
So this is a
But
big danger. This is like you
yeah,
think
that's
this
a
is a big
very
big
when
thing.
someone dies over religion, that is dangerous.
Okay, well, like people, millions now are dying because of the corona. This is not dangerous.
I'm
Like
not talking
I'm
about
trying to
Corona.
think
I'm
that
talking about religion. Why
why
are
you
you
feel
changing
that
the
this is an
subject?
important thing. Why you think that is important? People are dying anyway because of the religion and other things, and
Yeah,
religion
well,
is the end of the list.
if you die because of religion and that's unnecessary, then why do it?
Okay, that's in your way a preventable way of dying. Okay,
Yeah,
but
so let's save some lives
what about the
by getting
other
rid of
other?
religion.
Let's save some lives of people who take drugs. Let's save some lives of
That's a
people
non
who are drunk drivers. Let's save some lives of other things. Religion is the least.
That's a straw man argument. That's a logical fallacy.
Yeah, what like if you're logical, why take the least thing and make it your concern?
It's not the least thing.
Take the most
It's one of the
important thing.
most major things in the world that's causing harm.
No, I
That's
don't think it's a
preventable.
major. I can Google it now and tell me
How
how
many
many
people
people
in the
died of
world
because of
believe in a
religion.
God?
I don't know.
Billions. That is a major
Are
thing.
they so the people who are dying because of the religion are billions?
Yes, they are. I just
True.
explained it to you.
Billions of people are dying because of religion. Is that what
Yes,
you're saying?
I just proved it to you.
How? What is your proof? Did
Okay.
you do a
Once again,
research?
yeah, I did. 800 children die every year in America because of
Eight
religion.
hundred, 800.
Yeah,
800
that's
child is
just
not
one country.
billions. It's not
That's
billions.
just
It's
one
not billions.
example. There are. I can give you 1,000 examples of how religion harms and kills people.
Okay, I'll take this argument, and I'll say the people are dying because 800 people, 800 child died because of religion.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
let me
one
see
example.
how. What did let's talk about how religion is saving lives.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
It
okay.
doesn't matter.
Let's see.
It's
800
not
died
saving
before
life.
of the religion, and I'll say millions of people are alive now because of their religion.
If I save 100 lives and then I go kill somebody, is that good?
No, it's not good. But if you saved
Okay,
a million life and you killed 100, then that's good.
really? If I go around murdering 100 people, that's a good thing.
No, not murdering. You said religion kills 800 kids,
It
and I'm
does.
saying religion saved millions of kids.
How? You didn't give me an example of that.
Okay, I'll tell you. You know
Mm,
how many Muslims on earth? I'm talking about my religion because I don't know about your religion
I don't
or
have
about
a
other religion.
religion.
Okay,
Hmm.
I don't know about your atheism.
I
Okay,
just told you what
so
it is.
yes. Why are you acting like Trump now in his
No,
debate?
because if I tell you something and then you tell me you don't know what it is after I
Okay,
told you what it is,
I just want to prove a point. Okay,
all right,
we
you're not
believe.
listening.
Okay, we believe and practice that drinking is haram. Haram means forbidding. Anytime, morning, evening, anytime, forbidding. No drinking. Okay, so you will seldomly find or very rarely find a drunk driver that is Muslim. Okay, so I think that a lot of people, and I'm not going to say a number because I don't know, I have to open and see the research. A lot of people die because of drunk drivers. Islam saying don't drink, don't waste
Right.
your brain
There's a
for
law
any
against it.
reason. For
They
any
make
reason.
that's illegal. That has nothing to do with
Yes.
religion.
Okay, it's illegal, but people do it.
Right.
They
So
do it. They
it's not
break
the
the law.
religion that's saving anybody. It's the
They
law
break the
that's
law.
saving it.
But if you're religious enough, you don't break your religion. You break the law because the law is human made.
There's no
You don't
religious
break the
people
religion
that drink.
because it's God made.
There's no
So
religious people that drink.
yes, but not too many. Not too many.
It's irrelevant. It's
It's
about the
it's
law.
it's it's not too many. The majority think that is a big sin, and they don't do it, and they're saving lives by being sober, by not drinking. They're saving lives.
Drinking doesn't kill
So
people. Drinking and driving does.
okay, so drinking, they drink and drive or drink and do whatever,
So
drink and
drinking and
do whatever.
driving is illegal.
Okay, so if you drink, you basically you don't have a brain at that time. You'll do anything. You'll jump out of the cliff. You'll
Well,
drive.
I don't think
You'll
you
kill
have a brain
somebody.
that
You'll do a lot of things. A lot of things are done in this country in the name of, he was drunk. It was wasted. They do a lot of things.
you're
So
trying to equate a law with religion. That's separate.
well, okay. So the law just make it even better because even the law thinks that drinking is wrong.
So it's
Not
the law
only
that's
not
saving
only my
lives.
God thinks that drinking is wrong. The
The
law of the human beings thinks that is wrong.
the law is
And there is
saving
there's a list
lives.
of things. There's a list of things that's forbidding in religion, and they finally find out that is actually bad for them, and they just stop it.
Like what?
So religion came not to force people to do things. Religion came to protect people from bad, to harm themselves. So this is the point I'm trying to prove. So uh, I really need to
If
go.
I lived a perfect life and went around and gave to charity and just did everything that I was supposed to do, and then one day I went around and I murdered somebody,
Yes.
does that so all the good things I did, does that make the murder good?
No, it does not.
No.
Actually, this is
All
a
right.
very big sin. No, it does not. It
Right.
does not.
So there you go. So no matter how many good things the Quran teaches, if you
Mm-hmm.
go out and not and kill your child because you're afraid that doctors aren't real and the Quran is right, so you can just pray to God and have your
I don't know.
child
I don't know what you're
healed.
talking about this
You're
because maybe
murdering your kid
it's in
when
a
you
different religion.
pray
In my
instead of
religion,
bringing
in my
you.
religion, there's not such things about don't go to doctors. I don't know who
Really?
is
So
doing this.
you don't
Who's doing
believe
this?
God can heal?
I do believe, and I use it
Then
all the
why do you
time.
go
But
to doctors?
I go to doctors sometimes. Sometimes I need. I need immediate care.
Yeah.
Like
So God
if
can't
I
give
need
you
surgery,
immediate
I'm not
care.
gonna sit at home. If I need surgery, I'm not gonna sit at home do my prayers.
Why
But
not?
if I have a fever, I can do my prayers. I feel better.
You're
But
contradicting
if I need
yourself
surgery,
again.
because when you say medical care,
Yeah,
medical
God is
care
all
has,
powerful.
yes, medical care have a big spectrum. Like a medical care can be
Oh my gosh, this is
just
amazing.
Tylenol, and medical care can be like heart surgery, right?
This is the most amazing conversation I've ever had because you made
Thank you.
5 major contradictions.
No, it's not
5 major
contradictions.
contradictions to your own words. That's just
Okay, because
it blows my mind that
things
you can actually do that.
things do in this world do not go like this way, right
They do.
and wrong, right and wrong, black white. No, things, there's so many spectrum between the right and wrong.
Oh wow.
There's a big spectrum
So
between
there's
what you
sin and
saying.
there's no sin, right?
Yes,
Is there
there's
anything in
sin
between?
and there's no sin, and there is a major sin, and there is a minimal sin, and there's sin that you can
But there's
repent, and
sin
there's
and
sin
no
that you
sin.
cannot repent, and there's sin
I
that
don't
can
care
be
about. I
forgiven.
don't care the kinds of sin. There's sin or no sin, right? Either commit a sin or you don't.
Yes, either. Okay,
That's
I'll go
black and
with
white.
this. Mm-hmm. Time is it?
There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing inside in between.
uh Nothing inside between sin and no sin.
Right. Either you commit a sin or you don't. It's like
but
a coin.
sometimes
It's
but
either
sometimes you
heads or
commit a
tails.
sin you don't know. You commit a sin somebody forced you to commit.
I'm not
Sometimes you commit
asking.
a
Yeah,
sin
but you still
while
do it.
while you
Wow.
while you not in
Why are you
your.
going off on tangents? It's just a simple question. Either you commit a sin or you don't. Right. I don't care
uh
why or who makes you or whatever. Don't go off on tangents. Just say yes or no.
okay, I'll go with your flow, and so I understand what you're trying to say. So okay,
Okay.
I'll say yes, there's sin and there's no sin.
Very good. So that means it's black and white, right?
To some extent, yes, I'll say
No, to
yes.
every extent.
No,
What's the extent?
we can't have an argument like this, like you forcing me to give
I'm
you the
I'm
answer that you
forcing you
wanted
to
to.
use logic and critical thinking, and if you can't deal with that, then there's no reason to talk to you because critical thinking counts. Logic counts.
Okay, can I ask you, where did you learn your critical thinking?
Where
From where
it's
you learn? What is the critical thinking, and how do I become a critical thinker? Like, where did you learn your critical thinking?
it's okay. If something contradicts itself, then it's
Uh-huh.
not true.
So you go by this law.
Yes.
This is all you think that critical thinking is?
Not That's one of the rules of critical thinking. If something contradicts itself, it's not
Uh-huh.
true.
Okay, there's other rules.
Yeah, but this is the one I'm concentrating on right now because you
Okay.
contradicted yourself
So
6
you
times now.
using Okay, so if we want to use critical thinking, we have to be good at critical thinking. We can use only one law of critical thinking, because this is going to
That's
take us to places what you
I,
saying is dangerous, because we don't know what's critical thinking
yes,
until we
I
actually
do.
mastered critical thinking. You said I go by one law of critical thinking. What
Yeah,
kind of?
no, well, that's one of the ones that prove you are wrong.
Okay, this is just one. So until
Yeah, I'm proving
I
you
don't
wrong with critical thinking.
so yeah, so if
You contradicted yourself 6 times in this conversation.
because maybe
You were
because
wrong
you
6 times.
because I don't know if I'm right or wrong, because
I do
I
because when you
because
use critical
I'm not
thinking,
using your same, I'm not using
I
your
know that's
same
the
way.
problem. If you don't
I'm
use
not using
critical
the same.
thinking, you don't realize that you're wrong.
Yeah. Okay. I need to do something right now.
Yeah, I
But
know because
I want to continue this. No,
every
no, no.
time
I
I
want to
talk to a
continue
God
this.
believer who gets defeated, they have to go do something. All right, have a
No,
nice
no.
day.
We Are you still there?
Yeah,
I can do the same talk tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Is that okay?
I'll try.
Yeah,
Can I follow
10
you? May
between
I
nine
follow
and
you?
yeah, sure. Between 9 and 10, this is where I can actually talk freely. Nine, yeah, between 9 to 11 actually.
All right. This was the most amazing conversation I have ever.
Thank you.
I'm gonna download this and I'm gonna put it everywhere I possibly can to show exactly the flaw in religious
Okay,
thinking.
no problem.
This
No
is
problem.
absolutely perfect conversation as a demonstration of how religion poisons the mind.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
It
You
is.
never know.
It is. It's amazing. You
Okay.
really helped me
Th-
here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All
Okay.
right. You have a good day.
You too.
I think
Bye-bye.
it definitely provides a form of comfort to have faith. And I think that's where you rely on more than anything, is that your faith does provide a lot of comfort.
Yeah,
But you're
that's the only
talking
reason to
about
use it.
indirect change instead of actually looking at the source of cause, which would be humans, so therefore you would be praying or wanting to pray for humans to change. So then we wouldn't be starving each other and making each other homeless. Instead, we would be praying to better ourselves instead.
Praying doesn't work. Next.
Do you guys agree with me that all Christians should be shot in the face?
That's sick. Next. All right. Went through those. Once again, have a nice day. I appreciate it.
Okay. Have a nice day. You too. Bye-bye.